At least sounding real healthy today.
I know. Pardon me and my illness, but we'll get through it together. Well, welcome back everybody to another episode of Polite as Fuck.
Heyo.
Oh man, I am exhausted. I was like trying to think of like updates I wanted to share, and I feel like I've been giving so many people updates on like, we were just talking about the IRS, my bank account, all this other stuff. So I'm like, now that I sat down, I'm like, I can't wait to just talk about relationship shit. I'm like, I don't need anything real.
Yeah, what's actually going on in my life right now.
I really don't. I really don't. I have no energy for it.
Yeah, I just dropped a lot of money yesterday getting new tires. I got my oil change.
Okay.
And
look at us adulting.
I know, but I'm just like, all right, hang on, little Lex. Please last for a few more years, because
yeah.
Like, I don't want to fix things that don't need fixed, but a part of me is like, I've really only done like oil changes for a while, and I'm like, what about like the belts, you know? Yeah. Like, I know like there are other things that need to the timing belt or whatever it's called. You know, like, does that need fixed? Just, can someone tell me?
Well, sometimes I feel like I go in and they just like start saying like random stuff that's like, you can do this, like if you want to put money into fixing this is what needs it, but it's not like you're gonna like die on the road, like you can go. So sometimes I'm like, I don't need it.
Yeah, no, if they say that, I'm gonna avoid it. But I've only been going to oil changers, and all they do is change oil, so they're not telling me anything else, which makes me nervous.
But also sometimes ignorance is bliss, you know.
There's no sounds, there's no lights on, so we're gonna
you would have a gut you would have a gut feeling.
Yeah. Just about to drive to Arizona, so I'm like, I hope that it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Totally.
Our stuff. Adulting is difficult. It's really tough, but we're getting through.
Yeah. Slowly
but surely. I know. I'm like, I just told Erica about how all I want to do is sleep, but today I'm like, I actually need to get stuff done. So we'll see what actually happens.
Wins. Yeah. The list in my head is exponentially growing. You said you wanted to clean your bathroom, and I'm like, why is there black, like drops? It's like drops of water, but they're like black. And I'm like, where did that come from? Was I muddy?
Yeah, I don't know.
What was I doing?
Yeah. Also, I just washed my bath, like the floor mat in my bathroom, and there's like black marks. I'm like, I don't even like no shoes in the bathroom. So where are these black marks coming from? Ugh, I'm so over it.
It's so funny because our house is actually, I think, very clean.
We're just very particular.
And I think too, when it's your space, you just notice things. You're like, oh, I need to clean that. And now I understand why, like, my mom would be like, sorry, our house is such a mess, when someone would come over, and I'm like, what are you talking about? The house looks fine.
I know. Sometimes I look at the baseboards and I'm like, those are disgusting. And then I'm like, oh my God, I am my mother.
Yeah. I actually added baseboards.
Did you really? Oh my God.
I was like, there was something else. Oh yeah, the baseboard.
But I remember that being like, I got so annoyed. Or like the windowsill, you know what I mean? Because I'm like,
on your hands and knees, scrubbing, yeah.
But now I'm like, I love it. I'm like, I want to scrub.
Scoop it all up.
Oh my God, again. What the hell? Like, you really just have a shift.
Yeah, a shift in mentality. Maybe because it's your own money. The money coming out of your bank account, you're like, I need this to be nice.
I know, we were just talking about that yesterday too when you came back from Costco. Like, this shit was just taken care of for us. Like, we don't have to worry about dinner, groceries, gas.
Looking for the bargains on meats and...
Literally.
Is the salmon good? I don't know.
Anyway.
That's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about fun things.
Yeah, fun relationship stuff. Like...
the talking stage.
The talking stage.
What do you think that is?
Oh my God. Well, this is where I struggle the most at starting, because it's always like the beginning point of a relation, or like, you know, you're getting to know someone. It's the talking stage. My issue with it is I believe that this has become like, it's an epidemic. That's not the right word. Like, whatever. Of now that is like only what a relationship is.
Yeah. There actually is no relationship. It's only a talking
stage. Yeah. And that is like where you sit for weeks, months, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
And that is where I'm getting like, why? Why is this a common thing that's happening all the time?
Yeah.
Because I feel like even in college, like you would talk about, oh, we're in the talking stage. Like it's not a new concept, but I feel like the new part is the fact that like you never leave.
It never ends.
It never ends. Why?
Yeah. I was looking on Reddit and these are
I'm like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm very frustrated about it.
This is from like 6 or 7 years ago on Reddit. They were saying that the talking stage it has morphed, but in like what it used to be was like when you're friends with someone and then you like start texting them more and more, like you're like not going on dates with them. You're literally just like getting to know them more intimately, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
But that is kind of where it's like, oh, do we want to like break past friendship and go into dating, or do we want to stay as friends? And that's like what that is. But I think what it's become today is literally just like being able to flirt and fuck and not have to go on dates, but also never have to commit. So then when one or the other person's over it, then it's like, well, we were never dating.
Yeah.
So.
And it's so annoying.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, it feels like it's gotten to the point where it's a free pass for things.
Yeah.
And it allows this like, I don't know, I think we've really tripped ourselves out with this like no need for labels, which sometimes I appreciate, but what ends up happening is it kind of is like used as like a placeholder.
Yeah.
And this like going back and forth depending on what you're feeling and what the other person is feeling, which is fine when there's good communication, but what ends up happening most of the time is there's not good communication. So you're stuck in this talking stage like point in this relationship, but you're doing way more than talking. You're very like emotionally invested, but because you haven't like properly communicated with this person, it's like you go a day without talking and then you're back to talking and like dating. It's like this weird going back and forth because it allows this like, it's so open now. And I think for me too, what I want to talk about is like, yeah, the talking stage has gone way too far and it really has put such a weird shift on relationships. But also like, how do I, as someone that's like wanting to date people, leave the talking stage? And like, how do you get out of it? Because it is so, it's like it's shifted into its own thing.
I know. What you just said about like not talking for a day or something, I feel like that's what is so frustrating about it too, because it's like you guys could be talking all the time, all day, and then you don't hear from them for a few days, but you're like, well, it feels like I can't be like, hey, what's up? Where did you go? Because they're not like, they're not mine. Like, this isn't a relationship, so like they don't owe me anything. But it is just like, I get it to an extent, and I was this person even a few months ago, because it was like I was scared of being like, okay, if we're actually gonna commit to boyfriend girlfriend labels, like, then I feel like a fool if this goes wrong again. And I don't want I'd rather make sure, and this is maybe just like my overcautiousness of like, I want to make sure that we're for sure about this, but it's like, to what end? And I think when you don't have the labels too, then it's really easy, like if they do something that annoys you, or you guys get in a fight, well, and then it's like, okay, bye, instead of like working through it because you're committed to the person.
No, you bring up such a good point. Like, it has provided this almost like safety net for people where they're like, no labels, no commitment, no need to be there for somebody. But it's like, again, I was there and I still do it sometimes because I am cautious. Exactly what you said. I am nervous. I want to make sure because I don't want to jump in. I'm nervous about relationships. I don't want to, act a fool or be involved with someone and then it go, it gets fucked up or whatever happens. Like, it just doesn't work out. But at the same time, it's like, this is the problem with the talking stage, is it's taking away from like actual human connection and relationship. Like, things aren't gonna work out right away, and I feel like the fear of commitment, the fear of just like trying is keeping us like stuck in the talking stage. And yeah, it's scary, but now it's just like you're, you know, at least for me, it's like you just get into like these like situationships, and then it's like you're not really having an actual relationship with someone where you can like work through your stuff, because you're just stuck in this like surface level. Yes, you're talking all the time and you're going back and forth, but it's like, I don't know.
You think about how dating was in high school, and maybe it's like, maybe this is a bad comparison because we were immature, but it's like you would be friends with a lot of people, you would know a lot of people, but then suddenly you're dating this guy, like this guy's your boyfriend, and then a month later he's not, but at least like
it happened so fast. Yes.
Yeah. And it was like, this is my person, like we're in a relationship, you know, and then you're getting to know them actually, and then you're like, okay, maybe this isn't working for me, and you break up, but like in that time you were committed to each other. I think not that we need to go to high school relationships, because I do think there's like a healthiness to getting to know someone, like the 3-month rule to an extent, because I think the 3-month rule has become like forever rule.
Yes,
you know, like well, we never need to commit, but it's like if you like this person, if you know you want to date, if like things are looking good, then commit to it.
Yeah. Well, the 3-month rule really only works if you're actually within that time period trying to be in a relationship. It's not like, oh, let's keep hanging out and talking for 3 months, and then once we hit that limit, now let's try to see if like we can communicate when things get hard, or like, you know, have like a sleepover 2 nights in a row, you know what I mean, or like spend a longer period of time. It's like, no, within that 3 months,
you're going on dates,
you need to you're learning, you're, you know, and again, it's just like all an excuse for this like, you know, kind of situationship. And I even think too, like, you know, when you're getting updates from your girlfriends or your friends, or I'm giving an update, it's like, before, in the past, whether it's high school or college, but like before, the update would be like, oh yeah, we're still talking, or I just met this person, and then immediately the next time I see them, I have an update, whether we're like together or it didn't work out. Now it's like every time I talk to someone, either me or them, and they're sharing their whatever, like dating history or whatever the fuck they're going through, it's like, oh yeah, I met this person and we're talking, and then it's like the next time, like, yeah, well, like, I don't know, they're kind of like going back and forth, and it's like, this is the conversation that's happening all the time now. I hear it everywhere. And it's like lasting, fuck, 3 months. It's like 3 years now. And forever ongoing. It's so annoying.
Or even if it's not lasting that long, it's just like such a weird limbo to where, kind of what we were talking about earlier, it's like, well, I don't know if I can like, yes, you can text them. Maybe this is where the issue is. People get in their head, me, about like, oh, I can't text them because we're like not actually dating, or I can't ask that of them, or I can't say this of them, because it's like, we haven't had that conversation yet. We haven't said that like we're trying to date, or that that's what we're working towards, and like I don't want to scare them away, or I don't want to, but it's like, if that scares them away, then bye. Then they shouldn't be like, then that they're not ready for you.
But it's so hard in the moment. And like I even hear myself getting like frustrated about it now, but like ask me when's the last time I like actually spoke my truth to someone and was like, so I'm interested and I want to be out of, like, I don't. And I, you know, again, I think the reason why this talking stage lasts so long is because of fear. Like you just, you don't want to put yourself out there. You don't want to ruin something, and by you I mean we all know who I'm talking about. You know, like, you don't want to put yourself out there. You don't want to like act a fool or have possible rejection and be told no one wants that. So if it's like, okay, well, I have this this is where I struggle with most of the time is, okay, there's clearly not only just like an emotional connection, but a physical connection. Like something is going on, there's an energy, and I like this. But because of fear, I'm like willing to put aside my own, like, I say boundaries, but at the end of the time, it's just like, at the end of the day, it's like, at the end of the time. At the end of the day, it's like, I do want a relationship.
Yeah.
So when I'm doing things that aren't getting me what I want because of fear, I'm just allowing it to continue and go on and on and on, because I'm just like, oh no, I don't want to say anything. But then they're either not saying anything because they're feeling the same thing, or also I just opened the door for this like infinite amount of talking stage.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. This is not related to dating, but kind of, because I was saying this to myself a lot in my recent like job exploration of figuring out what the fuck I'm doing, of like saying no to something, saying yes to something else. So like when I was having these conversations with people and like interviews, and it's like, well, a job is a job, but it's like, yes, if I say yes to this job knowing full well that like the salary isn't what I want, the job itself isn't what I want, or whatever it is, you know, like the things that aren't lining up, then I'm saying no to the potential of like what actually would be what I want, and vice versa. Like if I say no, as much as it sucks to be unemployed for longer, then I'm allowing myself the ability to say yes to what I actually want. And I think the same is true for dating. It's like, and I'm so guilty of this, I think I just got so fed up with it, of like, this is okay. Like, there are parts of it that are okay. I can, like, maybe I am scared to say what I want because I don't want to scare them away, or I don't want to get rejected. But, like, whatever this is working for me right now, and that's fine. But it's like, then I'm saying yes to this and no to what I actually want. You know?
Not us being full-ass women being like, I'll put up with it.
I know.
And even you saying that, like, again, with the fear of the talking stage, I also think that I see it with us, but I also see it in other people. Like, it looks different with everybody, but when you have some sort of like relationship, like past trauma, where somebody has maybe been like untruthful or a cheater, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all of these things, you get stuck with like meeting new people and wanting to learn everything about them. Like, I need to know everything before I do any, and it's like, you can't do that. And it limits you, like you said, it limits you from either potentially having something with them, or you're waiting for them to be something that they're not. And you're like, well, I have this, like some of the boxes are checked, or like this works, but this doesn't. And then you're just like kind of wasting your own time.
Because you know, ultimately, it's like not what you want. So it's like, you know, I think that eventually it's going to need to come to an end, but you're like, I'll make it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the thinking process is.
Well, I feel like I wait for the other person to make a move. So when I am like so stuck in a talking stage, it's because I'm sitting around waiting. And again, I don't want to be told no. I don't want to have any sort of rejection. But one, I need to realize like you kind of have to do it if you want it. And so it's like, you know, trying to push myself just to at least communicate what I want, or make the first move, or like say something right away. And then if that's not my person, then again, bye. I
know. This is my literal every week conversation in therapy. And it's not even like, I'm not talking about the talking stage every week in therapy, but it's just like bringing things up. Is like, that's why I texted you and I was like, can we chat about 3 things that are not a big deal? Because they literally were not.
I know.
And it was just like, I don't want to catch her when she's like busy. I don't want to stress her out. And it's like, why? Like, maybe you could just ask to have the conversation and then it would be done.
No, it's so funny because when you said that, I was like, she's been thinking about this for 5 to 7 business days. This is not a new thought. She didn't just she didn't just wake up and think this. This has been a process.
Yeah. And it's like, I do. Yeah. It's so dumb. And it's like, why do I have to like, I think because if I will spin in my head about like, okay, I'm just going to like tell them what I need or want or whatever's on my mind, and then it's like, well, they're like really busy right now, and it's like, okay, I can wait, or like it's not a big deal, or like, I'm going to figure out what I can do on my end to change things so that I feel better about X, Y, and Z. And then turns out that doesn't solve things because the other person is involved. And then I'm like, well, there, I just like go back and forth to justifying why I shouldn't bring anything up or why I shouldn't, like, why it doesn't matter, why it's not a big deal. And it's like, it isn't a big deal, so just bring it the fuck up. Just say the thing,
Yes, I know, but it's tough. And like fear really is like it has all of us in a chokehold with everything. And I feel like I brought this up. Oh man, I can't even remember what episode, but I feel like we've said it multiple times. But in the world today, when there's so much happening, and obviously like there's a lot of shifts happening, and I think we can all feel it. So when we are like in our, how people like say, what do you do between, like you have your 9 to 5 and then your 5 to 9, like what you do in between there. So when you are relaxing, when you are meeting new people or like trying to have a relationship, whether it be like with friends or a partner, or like do stuff, we're really looking for things that bring us comfort and that don't like rock the boat, because there's already so many things going on. But I do think that has really stopped us, because in any sort of like forward motion and having any sort of human connection, because of the fear. And then I think too, like even when it comes to friends or like having any sort of hard conversation, it like stops us. And then I think even deeper, not really what we're talking about, but like social media too, it's like there's this constant like fear of like, am I being videoed? Is like the eye is on me, and like, oh, I need to make sure I'm like posting this or not posting this or whatever. And then when you're just out and about at the grocery store, just like the fear of being silly, or even just like talking with the person at the register because they're like, I don't want to say something stupid, whatever it is. It's like the fear has really stopped us from having, being silly and having that connection. And then when I think about it in the talking stage, it's like, I just don't want to act a fool. I don't want to be told no.
Yeah. I think it's also hard when you don't actually know what it is that you do want.
Yeah.
This is another thing that has been difficult for me, is like, I know whatever's happening I don't want, but in bringing up this conversation, I don't know what to be like. I don't like this. I want insert thing that I don't know what I want. All I know is I don't want whatever's happening right now. And I think there are some parts that like you don't need to know. It's okay to know that you don't want or don't like, or like whatever is happening, you don't want it to be that way. Or that you maybe in this instance, like you are ultimately like wanting a relationship, and so whatever's happening, like this isn't working for you. But I think it is hard when maybe you are going on dates, or you are like having sleepovers, you are spending a lot of time together, and it's like there's still something that's not it for you, but you don't know what it is. Then the talking stage, or whatever this thing is, the situationship you're in, is only going to continue until you figure that out.
Yeah. I think it's also linked to just commitment, and again, the fear of commitment, but having that talk, I mean, I don't want to diminish the importance of having like a committed relationship and having that conversation, but sometimes I think it's worth just trying, because you don't know unless you know. And I think what I struggle with, and what I'm seeing like some friends and other people just like in the world, is again really wanting to know the other person, like the in and out, and like making sure that they are going to be there for you before you like commit to them. This like 3-month rule or whatever, lasting so long, but you're like in it and you know that you like them, but you don't want to have that conversation because you're like, you don't know if you're ready yet. But sometimes I'm like, I'm not going to have all of the answers, and I'm not going to figure out who this person is like right away. It takes forever. And also like there is potential heartbreak, but I mean, you got to play to win, you know what I mean? And so when you're in it, you kind of just have to maybe make that choice of, yeah, there are some things and I want to get to know them, but the longer that this stage lasts, the more we're just gonna get like, what was that? Not compliant. Complacent. And you're just doing the same thing over and over, where it's like, if you maybe just had jumped in with 2 feet and committed and tried, you would have maybe seen like, okay, we're together, and then, you know, if it works out, then you know for sure. That's another thing too. It leaves it so open-ended, where you go from the talking stage, like you go back and forth, and it leaves this like relationship open forever. So like, even if you're not talking to them or right now, or it didn't end horribly, it feels like this like lingering, like they're still there,
Are they
and
gonna
it's
come back?
yes.
Are they,
and sometimes I'm like, no, like just cut it off and be done. Like, I need to know right away. But again, because I will put up with anything, I'm like, oh well, maybe we'll just see. Oh God.
Yeah, I'm also guilty within that of being like, I don't think that I care tremendously what people think, but to an extent, I'm like, I don't want to bring someone around and then the next week we're not together anymore. So like, I am so cautious about that. But I think roles reverse. Like, I've had friends and I'm like, oh, how's so-and-so? And they're like, oh, we're not together anymore. And I'm like, oh, are you okay? And they're like, yeah, or no, or whatever it is. And then we move on. And I'm not at all thinking like, wow, they only dated for 1 month. I'm like, I'm glad they're not in a relationship that's not serving them.
Yeah.
You know?
Or they're trying and putting themselves out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, that fear of like bringing, as when you have a big friend group, it's difficult, but you do, you know, especially with friendships, you care about what people think. And when you get to a certain age, like, even if you're not looking to have kids or get married, you're looking for some sort of like commitment, I would say. And so when you have friends that are there for you and like are good people, pause, because there's a freaking helicopter, of course. You guys really put up with so much, and we love that. We appreciate you. Just at least it's not like having a speaker.
I know. It's always so
shit.
crazy.
Anyway, like, you have really good friends that are there for you. You do care what they think. So you're like, you know, I'm afraid to take that next step and have you like meet my friends because I don't know what they're gonna say. But it's like, fuck it. For what?
Yeah.
If anything, I need to know what they say.
Yeah, and also, if you bring them around and then the next week you guys aren't together, maybe they could be like, yeah, I noticed
Blah,
blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, wow, like, I didn't even see that or think of that. Or, like, if you see that again, can you tell me, type thing. Because it's like, they are looking out for you. And they want what's best for you. And if they don't, then they're probably not your friend. But I don't know anyone in my life who would be like, wow, Erica, you didn't stay with this person that you weren't compatible with?
Literally never thought that, like, from anybody. So I don't know why that's in my head. Don't know why.
Yeah, I feel like the takeaway to get out of the talking stage is to talk about what you want and have conversations and, like, say what's not working for you, you know?
And I think you bring up such a good point, and something that I need to keep in mind is what stops me from sharing what I need or like being open or just making the first move to try to get out of the talking stage is this, like, I want to like get to know all of the parts, which is like it's not a thing. And also, like, is this like, you don't need to have what you want. Like, you can share with someone like, hey, I don't like this, without having the conversation of, well, I want it exactly like this, because that's where I get tripped up, where I'm like, I kind of know what I want, but like sometimes it kind of like differs between like the person that I'm with. So I'm afraid to bring something up because I'm like, well, they're going to be like, well, then what do you want? And I'm like, I don't know. I just know that I don't want this. And sometimes that stops me from bringing stuff up. And you're so right. Like, sometimes you just got to just say it.
You don't need to have all the answers. And I think especially as women, we have this need, or this, like, what's been instilled upon us to like fix it ourselves, you know? Mm-hmm. But you can say, this isn't working for me, and they can change and figure it out. And if they can't figure it out, then we're done, you know? Mm-hmm. And I think that is really hard for me. And I do this in work. I do this in every aspect of my life, where I'm like, I need to tell you the problem and give you the solution. But that's not actually real.
No.
And if you think about any man in your life, do they do that? Maybe they do, but we don't all need to do that, okay? I've yet to meet a man.
Maybe they don't. I don't know that. They'll be super quick to tell you all the things that are wrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I think when you're like solution like you want an answer. And it sucks when you don't have an answer, but also like don't let that fear get to you. I think for me too, it's just like not even figuring out what I want, but really just being more vocal and also knowing when to like cut the cord, cut them off.
Yeah.
And really stop allowing like the talking stage, whatever, it's fine. Obviously, there's such a big shift in dating right now. It's like super weird whether like it's social media. I think you get to a certain age. I don't know. It's weird. I think there's a lot going on. So having a talking stage is fine. But what I need to learn from is like, okay, if it's not going anywhere, when does it need to like end? And how do like I just need to be the person to be like, okay, no, they're not coming back. Like that needs to be done.
Which is easier said than done. But I think just like knowing that you are in control of a lot more than maybe you feel like. And maybe like, no, you can't control the other person and you can't control what happens, but you are in control of yourself.
Yes.
And I forget that all the time.
Literally all the time. That's why I was like, this is good. I needed this. I needed to just like...
Yeah.
And I know people are feeling it too. It's just so fucking annoying.
It is really... Yeah, what you brought up, like, we don't need to like keep going down this rabbit hole, but the part of social media or the part of just like having access to the world, I also think makes it feel like, okay, well, if it's not this person, it could be another person, and if it's not this person, it could be another person, and it's like, maybe just freaking commit to someone and try it, because it's never going to be any person if you don't ever try.
Yep. And there's always going to be something with I think we've also like built people up in our head, so you get to know them because of the talking stage or whatever, and then there's this person, or there's this like, you're trying to mold them to be what you want, and in reality, like, people shift and change and are just not, you know, all human and whatever.
And whatever. We're all human, okay?
We're all human. That's my takeaway. My freaking delirious takeaway. Guys, thank you for dealing with me today. My voice, my brain, sometimes I'm like, I just let my mouth go, which is fine because we have a podcast, but I'm like, damn.
I think that's a sign of a good topic when we can just be like, what should we talk about? And then we say it 5 minutes before the episode, and then we just riff.
Yeah. No, I love it. But also, I know how to beat a dead horse. I'll be like, I can come back and say the same thing over in a different wording. I will go on and on and on and on. And sometimes it's like, you know, I think you already made that point about 12 times. So even though you used a different word, it doesn't change the same fact or the same idea you had.
Oh, so funny.
You know what? It's fun, and it makes us giggle.
Yeah, it's good. I always enjoy our conversations, and they remind me of all the things I can improve.
I am reminded. I think about it, and then I edit, and then the next day I'm like, oh damn, we did have a good conversation. Did I do any of it? No.
But that's why you gotta talk about it, you gotta edit it, then you gotta listen back, then you gotta cut the clips. Then it will and really re-listen. It'll brain.
Yep. Mm-hmm. No, I love it.
But if you want to get it drilled into your brain, you can find Pilates Book Podcast on all your social media, or even on Facebook.
On Facebook, which is crazy.
Yeah. I don't know where else to go from there, but see you guys next week.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.